Hello and welcome to the Gaming Guild. We have Alex today. I'm going to be playing V Rising. No Kylie, uh, just kind of casual play of a multiplayer game by myself. So I'm just going to be doing a PvE since it doesn't really matter, but who knows, maybe after a little bit somebody will be joining me and we'll have a nice world going. So let's go ahead and give this a name. Like to call things Lamplight. Clan size, let's go to 8 just in case. Everybody that does play wants to be all in the same clan. So, something I'm going to do with this game, I'm not going to really be going into huge detail on the best ways to fight every boss or any secret tricks or anything like that. Just a lot of casual fun. But I do want to kind of give some basis for what I'm doing at different points and some of the things that options that I'm selecting here. So one of the ones I like to enable, or disable I should say, is the teleport bound items. This just lets me use teleporters with all of my items on me. Usually you can only use the teleporters if you have like just your weapons and armor on you. You can't really teleport back with a bunch of stuff. This way I can teleport after I go and harvest resources and things like that. I'm going to turn inventory stack multiplier up to 5. So this basically means I can store 5 times this many items in a single stack. So not things like swords or axes or anything, but if I can pick up 200 wood, now I can pick up 1,000 wood, and it just fill in one stack. I'm not going to increase any of the multipliers because of that. I'm going to leave everything here. I'm going to go ahead and raise the castle heart limit to 5. That way, as I'm playing the game, I can make 5 different castles throughout the game if I feel like it. I'm also going to raise the castle height limit. The newest update has allowed castles to have multiple floors instead of just the first floor. And I never know how high I want to go, so we'll go with that. I'm going to set these a little bit higher. This is just the size of my castle at any given point. So I'll just make it a little bit nicer so I just don't feel as constrained in my growth. Come on. Get to 100. Okay, how do I want to do this? Let's go to 60, 120, 100. Okay. Big brain time. Servants limits, that's all fine. Lockbox limitation, I'm just gonna throw it up to 20. Lockboxes aren't a big deal, they're just cool looking treasure chests. Everything here is pretty much the same. There is one thing, I'm going to increase the servant rate to, I'll just go 4. So servants will convert 4 times faster. This is a mechanic in the game where I can capture somebody, bring them back to my castle, and turn them into a servant. Usually, in a normal game, on a normal server, you would go capture a servant, bring him back to your castle, and log out for half a day. And then when you come back, your servant's ready to go. When I log out of the game, or take a break, the server does not continue. So I just want the servants to occur a little bit faster since I'll be waiting in-game for that. I don't really need anything else. Everything looks pretty much basic. I'll go ahead and save. And we will start a new game. Alright, and we have character creation. So there's nothing too exciting with character creation, just various skin tones, faces. Not that you really see your face too much in the game, so we'll do something pretty basic. Green eyes are good. Is it just me, or does that kind of look like Matt Mercer? Maybe 6. Keep 6 in mind, though. A little shaggy in the front. Nah. "13's pretty good. Sephiroth. Okay. No. I will say that they have good variety. So we'll go with 13. That's good enough. Special features. No, I don't need any of that. Is this cool, like ear spike things? Yeah, we'll just go with that. Alright, time to get into the game. So if you've never played before, you wake up in the or underneath a cemetery with pretty much nothing to you. No items. Here's my inventory, just picked up some stone. Have no crafting recipes or anything, but the game does give me, in the top left corner here, some quests to follow. Pretty basic, and at least for the first part of the game, it's kind of your progression through it, teaching you how to play the game, as well as just giving you a good direction on where to go. After a while, those run out and you're kind of left with figuring things out for yourself. You're already kind of in a good momentum that everything starts to make sense. Can't reach that one. So there's no real free jump in this game, but if you're at a ledge and you hold the shift key, it lets you just jump straight off. I do have a few powers at my disposal, so besides just a melee attack, I can do a quick, kind of like a teleport forward, just a little speed boost. If you see down here, these are all blood spells, so for my speed one, I jump forward, and then the first thing that I hit, I leech a little bit of life off of. I'll kind of be using that for some combat healing towards the beginning of the game. I also have my Shadow Bolt, which is just a single attack, ranged attack. And then I have Blood Right, which is a counter attack. Basically, it pulls any enemies in the area, and then if they hit me, I can do a lot of damage back to them. It's great for when I'm surrounded, but I will be replacing it as soon as possible because that's not my playstyle. So, if you couldn't tell by the name of the game, as in V-Rising, you play as a vampire, which means sunlight hurts you. Right now it's kind of a cloudy day, so I'm not too concerned. But if it wasn't a cloudy day or clouds in the area, this would be a very dangerous part of the map right now. I actually want to use shadows as much as possible. You'll see in a bit why it's dangerous to be in the sunlight.
Recognize my power.
So, as I just completed one of the little quests, I now have a crafting recipe. I can make a basic bone sword. Now if you see, in the center of the screen there I have the bone sword. It says it's 3 level. And what that means is that while it's equipped in my hands, I gain 3 levels. You can actually see that with my character, Iscariot Frail. That basically means my blood type is not helping me at all. Frail blood happens if you die and come back to life, or if you eat a rat or something else to give yourself blood. It's just a no bonus blood. Later on, we'll eat blood or drink blood from our enemies, get different blood types, and that will help out there. But right now, my character is level 3. I have a sword, but let's say I don't have a sword equipped. Let's say I go back to being unarmed. I'm back to level 0, because my level is based entirely on the equipment that I pick up. So by having a sword equipped, I'm level 3, I do more damage, take less damage, things like that. As I get armor and different items, will do the same thing. Just kind of level me up and make it so I can do more damage. Even if it's like, oh, it's just armor making me better, that armor is still making my damage go up because it's making my level go up. Alright, so completed another quest.
Recognize
Kind
my
of on
power.
pace here. So now I can create a bone ring. Again, it's 3 levels. So once it's done, this one should automatically equip to me. And boom, it's done. Boom, I'm level 6. Part of this ring also increases my spell power. So that's why I'm one-shotting these guys right now. But yeah, it made me level 6, so I'm a little bit stronger.
An achievement, to be sure.
Now I can create some armor. And this is about as far as I can get in the tutorial of the game. There's nothing in the tutorial cemetery here that drops this rugged hide, so I can't even make gloves or boots. So I'll get started by making the chest guard and leggings. I'm just going to kill a few more things, get a few more bones. There's no experience in the game, since you only level up through your equipment. There's not really a point to killing things other than just picking up the resources and getting them. So these rats that I'm picking up, right now they're not going to be really useful. I could eat one and refill my blood. It's not very necessary unless I'm really getting hurt and needing help. My health recharge does deplete how much blood I have. If I really need to recover a bunch of health fast, I can do this, Blood Mend. It makes my health go up a lot faster, but it really starts to drain my blood fast. So I'll use that sparingly. Sometimes when I'm playing this casually, I'll decrease the rate that I absorb my blood or use up my blood, just so I can hold on to it a little bit longer. But I didn't want to throw that on here for this particular playthrough. As you notice, we don't have a map up here in the corner yet. That's because this tutorial, we're not really supposed to have a map. There's a couple other things. There's like a chest down there that we could go get. But we really can't find anything good, just kind of these starting materials. Emerald's nice. but we really want some rugged hide, and we're not going to get that until we actually start the game. So it kind of lets you start your choice of either west or east Farbane Woods. Farbane Woods is this lower section of the map here. That's where we can be spending the next quite a bit of time. In other playthroughs, I've gone into the center area, but that's a pretty difficult area just as it is, and it gets even harder when you really get to the edges. I've never even seen what this is. I think this is all new content that's really difficult. So in this game you get to make a castle, and in particular I like this spot right here as my starting base. It's just kind of a good centralized location. I like the things that are immediately around it. Some of my favorite hunting spots aren't too far away, so I'm going to go ahead and come over to the East Farbane Woods to start off, just because I know this side a lot better. Bones will be useful for a couple things. They make grave dust later, which is something that's pretty important for crafting in the early part of the game. But I can also use them in a device called a mist brazier, which allows me to burn bone to create a fog that kind of protects me from the sunlight. Let's see, what are you? What percentage are you? Ooh, you're 19%. That's good. So obviously blood can be up to 100%. The better the blood, the more abilities associated with that blood that I can get. So creature types have these abilities, and because it's only 19%, I don't get very much. Just a little bit of a movement speed increase. Better blood gives me way better bonuses. I forget how many types of blood there are, but there's probably like 7 or 8, I want to say. Maybe only 5 or 6. It's hard to tell. It's, for the most part, I don't care too much about what blood it is. Just if it's a good percentage, I know I'm getting some good bonuses off of it, and I might reflect my play style off of that. If it's something like these creatures give a good movement speed bonus, so if I can get an early animal with a high blood percentage, I'll utilize that just to travel a little bit faster. Now that we've gotten some rugged hide, I'm going to go ahead and make the last 2 pieces of my armor. This will finish off this quest here and unlock bone axes. I could kind of beeline it over to where I want to build my castle, but getting some of this early stuff is pretty important just to progress through the game and be strong enough to fight some of the monsters in the area.
To be sure.
So now I'm level 10. I got 1 piece from each armor, and then my 3 from my ring, and 3 from my active sword. So level 10, a little bit more capable. I'm not going to die as immediately as I find enemies to fight. I'm going to go ahead and make a bone axe, and when I craft a weapon like that, it's going to pop up right into my hotbar up here. And now I can chop down trees. I could sit here with a sword and cut down a tree, but I'm not getting a lot of damage to the tree. I'm not getting a lot of wood as a resource from it. The axe is quite a bit slower, as you can see, but I get a lot more yield out of the wood. This just damages the tree faster, gets me more wood as the levels of my axes go up, and I have just a higher level value from them. I'll just collect more and more wood, and get over 100 from even these small trees here.
Yet another accomplishment.
The next thing I get to craft is a bone mace. Maces are used to break rock columns like this. Again, I could just sit there and wail on them with a different weapon, but it's more effective and I get more out of it to use a mace. In case you're wondering what the sword is good for, it's good for harvesting plants, which are so weak that they just instantly get harvested anyways. So there's not really a huge advantage with the sword. I think there's some enemies later on that do have a weakness to sword swings, but I won't be focusing on that too much. At least for a while, I'll kind of be focused on maces and axes, just to focus on gathering resources. Alright. My next quest is construct and interact with a castle heart, and then expand my domain by placing floors. So this means I need to find a location. It's also almost daytime. If you can see up next to my map there's a little circle with the time of day as it slowly rotates around. So I actually have a decent amount of time between day and night in this game.
Making a dent.
That's another thing about levels, is a resource like copper, which I'm really close to being able to get. I'm just a little too low of level at level 10. I think at level 13, I'll be able to harvest it. So one weapon upgrade, if I get to the upgraded mace, it will go from +3 to +6, and that will be enough to start getting some of this copper. If you see at the top, I'm kind of hovering over these guys with my cursor. I can see the percentage of their blood type. So I'm just kind of able to see, oh, okay, this guy's 1%. I'm not going to bother sucking his blood, but I am going to go into that animation where I jump up to him to fight him and start sucking his blood, because it's an insta-kill. And when I do that, I can cancel the animation like that, and it just immediately kills them, even if they have 10% of their health left, and it would be a while for me to finish them off, especially some stronger enemies, like if I saw a bear right now. Nice. This skeleton priest does not have blood, so I could not do that to him. Yeah, if we saw just an overpowered bear, especially if it's already weak from fighting something else and I'm just trying to finish it off, I could just go in to suck its blood and then be like, oh, well, it's low percentage, I might as well just kill it because I don't want to actually absorb it. This moose is a good example. Although he's just going to run away. So yeah, if you see some light coming down on me, it's because it's sunny out. Now that I'm away from the tutorial, it's going to be, anytime that it's daytime and I'm not in the shadows, it's sunlight, and it's going to hurt. The game is very generous with shadows, though. You see there, so, he still had 15% or so of his health left. And I just wanted to go in for the insta-kill. Kind of saved me a few seconds to just do that. Yeah. The game's pretty generous with the shadows. Right now there's a cloud overhead, so I'm actually kind of getting a benefit from that. And there I left it. And the sun, you can tell, is immediately starting to hurt me, or not hurt me, begin its damage animation, however you want to put it. Just to show you what it does, let's go right here. Shadows are being too generous. and my health went down fast, as you can see there. So yeah, that's why you know, sunny days are dangerous. Almost all days are going to be sunny outside of the tutorial, but every once in a while there's a cloud passing by, and you can kind of use that to traverse an area. So let's see. One of the things that this speed boost can be used for is helping just get through that area a little bit faster. A lot of these guys are dangerous, so I just don't want to deal with them right now. Just kind of skip through this area as fast as I can. Oh, there's my first boss, actually. I'm not going to fight him yet, because once I interact with the castle and do a few things with that, I'm going to be going after him anyways. For now, I just kind of want to skip over him, get to where I want to make my first castle. For the most part, I can run faster than most enemies in the game. Wolves are a little tricky to outrun just because they do move pretty fast. But usually if something's chasing me, all I have to do is just keep going and try not to get hung up on anything, and I'll eventually outrun it. I do want to be a little careful here. Don't be in the sunlight when I go into my map. So if you see, this is that land that I was talking about when I built my castle in. So I'm right next to it. But if I'm not careful, I could lure enemies into the area. So I want to avoid that. So get past them, stick to the shadows where I can. Moose. Moon's out, that's a good sign. That stone golem is a little surprising, but hopefully he does not want to come up here. Okay, hopefully he gets tired and goes away. There he goes. So I'll just have to keep that in mind. For the most part, I'm safe up here now. He's not going to come up here willy-nilly. Only if I go down here and he sees me, then he might follow me up. There's two ways up here. There's that path. One of them is 28% blood, so I'm going to try to get that. And that's the downside to harvesting blood, is it does leave me a little vulnerable for a couple minutes there. Not a couple minutes, a couple seconds. So, you know, the other wolf was able to get a few shots in on me. But my health isn't too bad. 110 out of 192. That should recover slowly over time. And should be back up to full by the time I'm ready to start going exploring again. For now, I'm just going to kind of clear the area. Harvest these free materials here. These ruins of an old castle are pretty nice for just collecting some stone. But all the castle blocks that I put down, I need to put them down on bare land. I can't, you know, all these plant fibers, then cutting down rock pillars, trees, needs to be removed from a square before I can place anything on it. So I'll get a couple more here. And then Castle Heart time. So there's the stairway leading down. So I'm going to come back from this a little bit. It's 1 square, 2. That should be
The
good.
castle heart is starving. I must feed it.
I'm going to place a few squares down. I need at least 3. And then I'm going to place a little bit of blood that I have. Gives me a little over 2 hours. This, it's kind of funny. So usually if you're playing on a server, you know, you're going to log off for the night, go to work, you know, 8 hours, 12 hours between times that you're playing. This is going down constantly, so it's consuming the blood. Playing it on my own, you know, this is a long day for this little bit of blood that I put in. So blood's not going to really be a big issue for me in this playthrough. But yeah, now I can actually start making a few things. I do need more blood just for expanding like floors and everything. So because of that, I am going to, want to go hunting. Let's put. Okay, you. Gotcha. This doesn't actually count as a wall, so I'm going to go ahead and move that really quick. There. The walls aren't that important. I'm just going to get rid of them in a minute. Just placing the rest of this stuff down. And not enough wood. Cool. It doesn't care once it's placed. So I'll just get rid of those. And hey, I have enough wood back to get a chest. So, got that done.
Recognize my power.
Now I can actually start crafting buildings and such. So this is the part where I'll probably go hunt a few more things down, start stocking up some resources. This Mist Brazier here, this is the thing, I put bones into it. Each bone gives me a minute of burn time, and it kind of creates a fog. I'm going to turn it off right now. Because it's nighttime, I don't really need it. But if you kind of saw there, I'll turn it back on to show you. I kind of have this cloud that starts to form a pretty good radius around the brazier. Even during daytime, this is going to protect me. So I can kind of move about my castle, interact with it while I'm still getting started. Later on, my castle walls will kind of protect me. I'll have a roof over my head, so inside my castle I'll be safe. But I'll put it out in like a garden or something to keep me safe while I'm, out tending to my garden or anything like that. Let's drop everything off if I don't need anything at the moment. I have this little message saying that I'm low on blood, but the game just thinks that anything less than 6 or 8 hours is low on blood. My next objectives is to create a sawmill, simple workbench, and get my gear level up a bit. Gear level shouldn't be too difficult. That's just upgrading my weapons and armor to the next level. Pretty simple. Rude. That guy's gonna die. Like I said before, even with wolves, I'm a little cautious of them. But eventually this alpha wolf is going to give up and yeah, just kind of go back the way he came. Even though he has a pretty big radius, he's if you get far enough away from where the combat initiated, they just kind of give up, and the game's like, oh, okay, you didn't actually want to fight, you know, go back. I'd like to go get some blood, hunt a few things down, but it might be a better choice just to get some resources close to the castle. Have you seen my map? I have this blue area that shows the plateau that my castle is on. Let's see, some items here. That stone golem is still right there. So nice, so I can at least walk up this stairway without activating him. That is a bear. And he's kind of in my home, so I'm gonna have to deal with him one way or the other. So even though he was quite a bit higher level than me, especially when it's just one enemy like that, they're not too bad. If you know their attack pattern, give them some distance, use your ranged combat. Most things are fairly easy. Most of the bosses have the means to summon allies to help them, so it's a lot harder to just fight one-on-one. Usually you're dealing with a swarm of enemies all at once. A lot of them have some cool special abilities or spells that can really mess with me fast. Even, you know, the Alpha Wolf that we just saw, first boss of the game, and he, you know, all he had to do was howl, and he summoned a few wolves to help him out. So we kind of need to be at the point where we can easily just handle a wolf of like, oh, a couple swings, alright, that wolf's gone, a couple swings, next wolf is gone. Get back to focusing on the Alpha Wolf. Because there's no defense stat in this game. You kind of have like, you know, some armors might be able to give like a percentage to your armor. Actually, I don't even know if that's a stat. I don't think it is. We have max health, physical power, spell power, attack speed, movement speed, resource yield, and resistances. So I don't think there's actually a defense stat. It's really all in the HP. So, you know, the less I get hit, the better. Because even, you know, if I was level 60 running through here, these wolves are still going to do the same amount of damage. Granted, I'll have a lot more health at that point, so I can kind of take the damage a little bit better. But there's no, it's not a game where I can minimize the damage so that it's 1 or 0. I'm still going to take that damage. So it is almost daytime. And as I play, I kind of like to use daytime as a good chance to be indoors. Granted, I don't have indoors yet, but I can at least use my Mist Brazier to create some shadows for myself. Later on, there's a mine, I'm gonna go get copper or something like that. I kind of plan it out so I'm spending my daytime underground, a little bit more protected. Don't have to worry about the sunlight as I travel. Traveling during the daytime is pretty bad, just because there is so much sun everywhere. Boss fights during the daytime are the worst. The Alpha Wolf, not too bad, just because he's usually traveling in the forest. It's, can use the trees to my advantage. But a lot of bosses are just inside of camps. One of the boxes is just right over here, and he's literally just out in the open, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Well, I think I'm going to end it here for my first video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next adventure. Bye-bye.